Hi KP, this is Michael. How you doing, buddy? You've been working hard, really working hard. And I am Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com. Free high quality TOEFL lessons. And you're doing some speaking practice. I have the speaking rubrics here, and I have your question. You say, please listen to evaluate score my speaking practice test. Let me know which areas I need to improve in order to score high on the TOEFL speaking section task number 1. You got a question. Sometimes I get nervous while practicing, assuming that I'm sitting in a real exam. Do you have any situation to share for keeping self-confidence high during the real exam? Yes. What you're doing is kind of visualization. You're pretending that you're in the real exam, right? And then you're still getting a little nervous. Now, here's something else you can do. If you're going to take the TOEFL at a testing center, turn the TV on in the background, or you can take a practice test with other people nearby speaking, because that'll be similar to the conditions you will see in the actual testing center. So don't expect things to be really, really quiet. So that would be one thing. The other suggestion is practice. As you practice, as you get more confidence, I think with your speaking, you'll have less nervousness during the actual exam itself. So those are two things you can think about. Now my YouTubers here, can you guys help us out? Some of you maybe have already taken the TOEFL exam. You're watching this video. So the question is, what do you do? How did you reduce your nervousness during the real exam? So please put your tips below the video. That will be very helpful for many other students who will watch this video and read those comments. Okay, so let me get the rubrics ready. Okay, I have them right here. And now let's listen to your speaking practice test. I mean, when I hear you speak, I get confident. You make me confident because you seem to have good control over how you deliver and structure and organize and develop your response.
I prefer to study in a group rather than studying alone for two important reasons. First, students can learn faster in study groups. For example, I always had a problem in solving mathematics questions. Since I started studying in a group, I feel like I'm learning really fast. This is because whenever I have any problem, I can ask other people help and get the answer immediately. Second, students can learn new skills in study groups. For instance, while studying in a group, I have developed great communication and problem-solving skills.
Good example.
Because group studies requires a lot of communication and students work together to find out the solution of a difficult problems. And that is why I think it is important to study in a group rather than studying alone.
The specificity of your response there that you use there is very strong. So my first impression is, I'm going to say between 24 and 26 points. Let me listen to it one more time.
I prefer to study in a group rather than studying alone for two...
Okay, wait a minute. I prefer to study in a group rather than study alone, not I prefer to study in a group rather than studying alone. Don't use an infinitive on one side of the coordinated conjunction and then a gerund on the other, and that's not parallel. Now, maybe I made a mistake. Let me listen to it one more time.
I prefer to study in a group rather than studying alone for two important...
Yeah, you did it. You said to study, then studying. Don't do that. Keep your grammar balanced, especially when you're using coordinators. Things like and, but, or. I am not tired, but happy. Or I'm not tired, but energetic. Sorry. So I balance it out with two adjectives there.
Reasons. First, students...
Now, I don't like the two reasons thing. I've just heard it too many times. It's a very tired type, predictable, overused sentence. So I think you could do better with that.
I prefer to study in a group rather than studying alone for two important reasons.
If you say because maybe instead of for, put because and then state the two reasons, then you kind of lengthen your sentence a little bit and you create a complex sentence instead of a simple sentence.
First, students can learn faster in study groups. For example, I always had a problem in solving mathematics
Now I got to watch your verb tenses here.
questions.
So I always had a problem solving mathematics.
Since I started studying in a group, I feel like I'm learning really fast. This is because whenever I have any problem, I can ask other people.
Since I started studying in a group, I feel like I'm learning really fast. Usually since is a trigger for the present perfect or maybe even the present perfect progressive. So since I started studying in a group, I feel like I have been learning fast. Maybe you could say
Will
that.
help and get the answer immediately. Second,
So that your example there wasn't that strong, but the next one was really good.
students can learn new skills in study groups.
And then you explain what those skills are. So you start with a more general kind of sentence there, then you go to the more specifics after that. So that's what I call depth, complexity of thought, progression of ideas.
For instance, while studying in a group, I have developed great communication and problem solving skills. Because group studies requires a lot of communication and students work together to find out the
Good. That's a
solution of
good
a
one there.
difficult problems. And that is why I think it is important to study
I would say which is why instead of and that is why, and show a little bit more advanced grammar there. I think it's a good response. I'm gonna give you the score that I think is. I'm gonna put you at 20. I'm gonna say 25 to 27. I'm gonna go up just a little bit there. So your second reason plus example very strong. You had great control, I think, over your language use. Maybe one or two small problems in there. Your fluidity of expression. You've really come a long ways with. At first, when I first heard some of your practice tests, you were speaking a little too slowly, but you're finding your rhythm. Yes, you're definitely finding a good rhythm, and it's easy. You're easy to listen to. It is. I can listen to you. You could lecture me. I could hear you in a lecture for an hour. I'd love to hear you talk. I think so. No problems there. All right, keep up the good work.